We long for it, we search for it, we dream of it. Love, it's the language of our souls, the melody that makes our hearts sing. But finding it, nurturing it, and making it last, that often feels like navigating a labyrinth in the dark. Why is something so fundamental to our being so elusive? Why? In a world saturated with images of love, does genuine connection seem so rare? God, the architect of our hearts, created us for relationship. He created us to love and be loved. He placed within us a longing that only He can ultimately satisfy. And yet, so often, we stumble and falter in our pursuit of love. The answer, my friends, lies in discovering God's plan for our relationships. Faith isn't simply a set of beliefs. It's the bedrock upon which we build our lives. It transforms our understanding of love from a fleeting feeling to an unwavering commitment. Imagine a love that isn't tossed and turned by the shifting tides of circumstance, but anchored to the rock of God's unchanging love. When we invite God into our relationships, we invite His transformative power to work in and through us. Faith equips us to navigate challenges with the strength and resilience that we could never muster on our own. In the tapestry of life, our relationships are the threads that weave together the richest and most intricate patterns. The difference often lies in the blueprint we follow. God, in His infinite wisdom, has provided us with a blueprint for love, a guidebook for building relationships that are not only strong and lasting, but also life-giving and joy-filled. This blueprint isn't hidden in some distant land or locked away in an ancient vault. It's found in the pages of His Word, the Bible, a timeless testament to His unwavering love for us. Within this sacred text, we discover the principles that form the foundation of a love that endures. Imagine embarking on a journey without a map, a compass, or a guiding star. Relationships, much like journeys, require direction. That guiding star, my friends, is faith. Faith isn't merely a belief in God. It's a deep trust in His goodness, His wisdom, and His unwavering love for us. When we place our faith in God, we surrender our desire to control everything, and instead embrace the freedom of trusting in His perfect plan. Trust, the bedrock of intimacy. A house built on sand is destined to crumble. Relationships, like houses, need a solid foundation. They need a bedrock of trust to withstand the inevitable challenges that life throws their way. Trust is the lifeblood of intimacy. It's the safe space we create where we can be vulnerable, authentic, and fully known without fear of judgment or rejection. Building trust takes time. It requires honesty, transparency, and a willingness to be vulnerable with one another. When trust is broken, it can feel like the very foundation of our relationship has been shaken. Forgiveness, the bridge over troubled waters. Imagine a river, its once clear waters now muddied and turbulent after a storm. Forgiveness, my friends, is the bridge that allows us to navigate the turbulent waters of hurt, anger, and resentment. It's the path that leads us back to the shore of love and reconciliation. Forgiving someone doesn't mean condoning their actions or pretending that we weren't hurt. It simply means releasing them from the debt of our anger and resentment. With God's grace, even the deepest wounds can be transformed into scars that tell a story of redemption and hope. Love, the heart of the matter. At the very heart of God's plan for relationships lies love. Not the fleeting, fickle love that the world often celebrates, but a love that is steadfast, sacrificial, and rooted in something far deeper than fleeting emotions. This is the love that Christ exemplified, a love that poured itself out for us, even in our brokenness and sin. This is the love that God calls us to cultivate in our relationships, a love that reflects His own boundless grace and mercy. It's a love that doesn't keep score, that forgives readily, and that seeks the well-being of the other above its own desires. When we allow His love to flow through us and into our relationships, we experience the transformative power of unity, forgiveness, and unwavering commitment. Section 2. Respect, the foundation of honor. Imagine a relationship where each person feels valued, cherished, and deeply respected. Respect isn't simply an act of politeness. It's a profound acknowledgement of the inherent worth and dignity of another human being, created in the image of God. Respect is woven into the very fabric of a God-honoring relationship. It's about treating our partners with kindness and consideration, even in the midst of disagreements. When we cultivate an environment of mutual respect, we create a space where trust can flourish, where vulnerability is met with compassion, and where love can grow deeper with each passing day. Section 3. Communication, the bridge of understanding. Communication in the landscape of relationships serves as that vital map and compass, guiding us towards deeper understanding, connection, and intimacy. Open, honest, and heartfelt communication is the bridge that connects two souls, allowing them to share their joys and sorrows, their dreams and fears, their hopes and disappointments. It's about creating a safe space where vulnerability is welcomed, where authenticity is celebrated, and where both parties feel heard, valued, and understood. When we prioritize healthy communication, we build bridges of understanding that can withstand the storms of life, fostering an environment of trust, intimacy, and enduring love. Section 4. Patience, the gardener of growth. Relationships, much like gardens, require patience, care, and a deep understanding that growth takes time. Patience is about extending grace to ourselves and our partners, recognizing that we are all works in progress, constantly learning and evolving. When we cultivate patience in our relationships, we create fertile ground for growth, allowing trust to deepen, intimacy to blossom, and love to flourish in its own time and in its own unique way. The old, worn Bible sat on my desk, its pages filled with underlined verses, scribbled notes in the margins, and pressed wildflowers marking special passages. It was my grandmother's Bible, a tangible reminder of a love story that had weathered the storms of life and emerged stronger, more beautiful than ever before. Flipping through its pages, I was drawn to the book of Hosea, a story of God's relentless love for His people, even in the face of their unfaithfulness. My grandparents' marriage wasn't a fairy tale. They faced their share of challenges, financial struggles, the loss of a child, and the inevitable bumps in the road that come with sharing a life together. Their love story wasn't a picture of perfection, but a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness, the enduring strength of a love grounded in faith. Sarah and David sat across from each other, the silence thick with unspoken words. David had been unfaithful, shattering their trust. Sarah felt lost, adrift in hurt and anger. Amidst the turmoil, a flicker of hope remained. They turned to their pastor and friends, beginning the journey of rebuilding trust. It wasn't easy. There were moments of anger and tears. David expressed genuine remorse. Slowly, trust began to re-emerge, built on honesty and unwavering love. The hospital room was filled with the sterile scent of antiseptic and the quiet hum of machines. My wife, Emily, lay in the bed, her face pale, her body weakened from surgery. As I sat beside her, holding her hand, a wave of guilt washed over me. Years earlier, I had been the one in need of forgiveness. I had hurt Emily deeply, causing a rift between us. Yet, she offered me the most precious gift imaginable, forgiveness. She released me from my guilt, offering a second chance. Not because I deserved it, but because that's what love does. It forgives, it heals, it restores. Section 4. Patience in the storm. Nurturing love through illness. The diagnosis hit them like a tidal wave, casting a shadow over their future. John's health had always been their rock, a source of comfort for Mary. Now, their roles shifted, their love tested in unimaginable ways. Mary watched as John grew weaker each day. Treatments took their toll, stripping him of his vitality. Yet, Mary remained his constant, her love a beacon of hope. She became his advocate, caregiver, and source of strength. There were days filled with frustration and fear. But Mary never wavered in her commitment to love John unconditionally. Their love story was a testament to the enduring power of patience and grace. Section 1. The Refiner's Fire. Navigating challenges with faith. Relationships, even those rooted in faith, aren't immune to challenges. Life tests even the strongest bonds. Disagreements arise, and external pressures threaten us. Our faith is refined, like gold tested in fire. Imagine a ship caught in a storm. The crew works tirelessly to keep the ship afloat. Their faith, like an anchor, provides strength to weather the storm. In challenges, we discover the depth of our love and faith. We learn to lean on each other and seek His wisdom. Challenges become opportunities for growth and deeper love. When faith is tested in relationships, doubt, like a weed, can take root in our hearts during trials. Unanswered prayers and unfulfilled expectations make us question God's plan. Imagine a once vibrant garden, now parched and neglected. The gardener, weary and discouraged, questions their efforts. Remember the source of life, the one who sustains all things. Cling to God's word, His love, and His faithfulness. Doubt can deepen intimacy with God, embracing trust in His plan. Section 3. Tending the garden. practical steps for growth. Just as a garden requires consistent care and attention to thrive, so too do our relationships. It's not enough to simply plant the seeds of love, respect, and communication. We must also tend to the garden of our hearts, nurturing those seeds with intentionality and care. Imagine a gardener tending to their garden, carefully pruning away dead branches, removing weeds that compete for resources, and providing the nourishment needed for healthy growth. Tending to our relationships requires that same level of diligence and care. Here are a few practical steps we can take to cultivate growth and strengthen the bonds of love. Prioritize prayer. Make prayer a non-negotiable part of your days, both individually and as a couple. Invite God into the details of your lives, seeking His wisdom, guidance, and strength. Practice forgiveness. Let go of past hurts and extend grace to yourself and your partner. Remember, we are all works in progress, capable of making mistakes. Communicate openly and honestly. Create a safe space for sharing your thoughts, feelings, and needs. Listening with empathy and seeking to understand rather than to judge. Section 4. Cultivating intimacy, nurturing the soul of connection. In the symphony of a thriving relationship, intimacy plays the role of the conductor, orchestrating a harmonious blend of emotional, spiritual, and physical closeness. It's the sacred space where two souls connect, where vulnerability is met with tenderness, and where love finds its deepest expression. Imagine a delicate flower, its petals slowly unfurling in the warmth of the sun, revealing its beauty and fragrance. Intimacy, like a flower, requires the right conditions to blossom: trust, respect, vulnerability, and a willingness to be fully known and loved for who we truly are. Cultivating intimacy requires intentionality. It means setting aside time for each other, even amidst the busyness of life. It means putting away distractions, engaging in meaningful conversations, and sharing experiences that nurture your connection. Remember, intimacy isn't a destination, but a journey. A continuous dance of giving and receiving, of revealing and embracing, of growing closer to God and to each other with each passing day. Section 1. The Journey of Love, a lifelong adventure. As we've journeyed together through the pages of this exploration, we've uncovered profound truths about God's design for relationships. We've seen how faith acts as a compass, guiding us towards a love that is deeper, richer, and more fulfilling than anything we could ever find on our own. Remember, the path of love isn't a straight, predictable highway. It's a winding road filled with unexpected detours, breathtaking vistas, and occasional bumps along the way. There will be moments of joy and laughter, seasons of growth and challenge, and times when we stumble and need to lean on each other for support. Through it all, God's love remains our constant, our anchor in the storms, our source of strength when we feel weak. He's the master weaver, taking the threads of our lives, our joys and sorrows, our triumphs and failures, and weaving them together into a tapestry more intricate and beautiful than we could ever imagine. Embrace the journey, my friends, with all its imperfections and unexpected turns. Allow your faith to be your guide, your love to be your compass, and your commitment to each other to be the wind beneath your wings. Section 2. Embrace the journey, embrace the love. The love story God writes for each of us is unique, filled with chapters that will surprise us, challenge us, and ultimately draw us closer to Him and to each other. As we seek to align our relationships with His heart, let us remember these key truths. Love is a choice, not just a feeling. It's a daily commitment to put the needs of our partner before our own, to extend grace freely, and to forgive readily. Communication is the bridge that connects our hearts. Be open, honest, and vulnerable with each other, creating a safe space for sharing your deepest thoughts and feelings. Challenges are opportunities for growth. When faced with trials, turn to God for wisdom and strength, allowing those experiences to draw you closer to Him and to each other. The journey of love is a lifelong adventure, filled with both joys and challenges. Embrace it all, knowing that with God as your guide and His love as your foundation, you can weather any storm and emerge stronger, more united, and more in love than ever before.